What are the top 6 RMC roller coasters? But wait, that I've ridden. Which means I will not be putting the RMC roller coasters in this list that I have yet to ride or have not ridden in general. Because trust me, I have not ridden at all of the RMC roller coasters that there are at the moment. However, a good majority of them. So for those questioning already, why is it a top 6 and not a top 5 or even a top 10? Well, top 5 because then I'd be missing one and that would just make it clearly obvious. And top 10 because I am not yet up to 10 RMC roller coasters that I've been on. So instead of doing top 5, top 10, top 3 even, I will be counting down my top 6 RMC roller coasters that I've ridden to this date of 2017 for this summer. And just a heads up, just to organize a little bit more, within the next coming weeks, I'll be counting down by each manufacturer my favorite roller coasters that I've ridden by them, just to all compile it into one list when I do my overall 2017 ridden roller coasters in end of August, early September. But until then, to hold everyone over, I will be counting them down by manufacturer and eventually compiling that all together. So until then, this is what I will be doing, counting them down by my favorites in each manufacturer before I go onto one huge list of overall roller coasters in the end of summer. So, without further ado, let's get started. And just a disclaimer, not everyone will agree with this, of course, but these are just my personal experiences on each and every one of these roller coasters. So I'm already gonna know that people are not gonna agree with this or that. It's my opinion. If you don't like an opinion, then I can't help you anymore. But tell me, you can make your own list in the comments of what are your favorites of these, and I will surely either agree or disagree with you as well. But everyone has their own opinion, and you should respect that as well as I do. So, without further ado, let's begin with the top 6 RMC roller coasters, but wait, that I've ridden. Number 6 is the new Texas Giant at Six Flags Over Texas. Now, I knew people are going to already question this one. Why is it so low in your list? And why is it the least best RMC roller coaster that you've ridden? Well, let me just say, in comparison to the other RMCs that I've ridden so far, it is probably the weaker of them. This ride provides some great airtime, a decent fair supply of intensity, a good height, a decent speed. However, one complaint about this ride is indeed the slowdown at the mid-course brake run, which makes no sense at all. And also, just I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it just isn't in comparison, a great RMC nowadays compared to other RMCs out there. It is still a great ride because all RMCs are great roller coasters and are some of the best out there. And this is no exception for the new Texas Giant. Don't get me wrong, this is a great roller coaster. But like I said, in comparison to the other RMCs that I've ridden of now, it is not the best whatsoever, and you will see what I mean as I get further on with the other RMCs that I've ridden. But this ride is still great, and if you ask me, it's the best by far at Six Flags Over Texas. But in comparison to overall RMCs, it is definitely not the best. So I'm sorry to say for those fans of New Texas Giant, and you can disagree with me, but no harsh words, because again, it's my opinion. But New Texas Giant is still a great roller coaster with a great fulfilling of duration, intensity, airtime. Great roller coaster. However, in comparison to others, it can do better. Next up is Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain, the revamped RMC of the original Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain, an old rickety wooden roller coaster they transformed in a completely awesome steel roller coaster. And it's also the only, at the moment, RMC racing roller coaster, and it is also the longest RMC roller coaster, so that's a major perk, racing and a huge duration. However, here's the complaint. Most of that duration comes from the 2 mounts of the lift hills, because you go around one time on one set of a lift hill, which takes about a minute, you go through the course once, then you come back around onto the other side and go up the lift hill once again. So about 2 minutes of your ride time are going up the lift hills. So that takes away from a lot if you're technically speaking. Although it's still, if you consider it, makes an insanely long ride, over 3 minutes. It is still, if you just go by from the drop and don't include either of the lift hills, it's really only about a minute 30, a minute 40. Because the course, other than the lift hill, is not too long of a course. It's over pretty damn quickly. However, Twisted Colossus is still a great RMC. However, in comparison to others, it can do better as well. And if you ask me, it's number 2 for me at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I still have that soft spot for X2, but I hear nowadays it got a lot more rough. Because the last time I rode it was in 2015. And this is also when I rode Twisted Colossus, the first year that it came out. So, I don't know how that'll change. Because in 2 years, a roller coaster can change quite a bit. For example, El Toro, that ride actually got a little bit of a rattle, surprisingly. Although it is still very smooth, it gained a slight rattle and actually turned into almost like a regular wooden roller coaster. But Twisted Colossus was a great ride, so I don't know how my opinion would change. Maybe it nowadays would be the best one there. But X2 from 2015, if you ask me, is still the best ride, Six Flags Magic Mountain. So that's all I'm saying right now. But maybe I'll ride it in 2018. Maybe I'll hit up Six Flags Magic Mountain eventually, and my opinion may completely turn the tables, and Twisted Colossus could become my new favorite. You never know. But Twisted Colossus is a great roller coaster that always gets love. However, it's not the best RMC that I've ridden. In comparison to Twisted Colossus and a New Texas Giant, this one will come to surprise many of you roller coaster enthusiasts, because I hear many complaints about the overused name roller coaster Goliath at Six Flags Great America. And this is an RMC wooden roller coaster. Just pointing that out right now, that I'm just saying that these are my top 6 RMCs, not top 6 RMC hybrids. I've only ridden 2 wooden RMC roller coasters, Goliath and Lightning Rod Dollywood. But Goliath at Six Flags Great America, if you ask me, I enjoy this ride so much. It is probably maybe my number 3 or number 4 wooden roller coaster at the moment. It is an awesome ride. The main aspect of Goliath is the intensity. This ride is so intense. It may not have the airtime. There's only one insane ejector airtime hill. However, other than that, you have some great hang time on the inversions, and you are just twisting and turning and flying through the wood and head chopper effects all over the place. That's what makes Goliath such an intense and awesome ride. By far the best at Great America, and easily one of the best wooden roller coasters out there. People don't give it that much love because it's a short ride, because yes, it is. However, what it packs in that minute or so, not even a minute, it is still a great roller coaster. And that's why it makes number 4 on my list. And yes, I do like this ride better than New Texas Giant and Twisted Colossus. Although this one's a wooden roller coaster, but in general RMCs, this one beats those two. But what will be the next 3 that beat this one? You'll see in just a moment. One of the RMCs that I've ridden this year, Iron Rattler at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. I recently posted a review on this roller coaster. Go check that out ASAP. This ride is a phenomenal RMC roller coaster. It's intense, it's large, it's one of the bigger RMCs out there. It has a very steep drop at 81 degrees. It goes fast, 70 miles per hour, and it flies all over through the quarry. It is an awesome RMC roller coaster that I highly recommend if you hit up the Texas area. I suggest New Texas Giant, Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast, Titan at Six Flags Over Texas. But if you've hit up Six Flags Magic Mountain, you don't really need to hit up Titan because they're basically the same. But anyways, enough of that. Iron Rattler, if you ask me, blows every other roller coaster at Fiesta Texas out of the water. It is such an awesome roller coaster. You fly all over the place. It's intense. It has some decent airtime, I have to admit, and it has a really cool 0G roll, as well as it has an awesome drop. And because of the way it interferes with the quarry wall, it makes it all the more better when it comes to intensity especially. This ride is an awesome roller coaster, and it is by far one of the best RMCs that I've ridden, and one of the best roller coasters that I've ridden in general. And since it's a steel roller coaster, I can likely say it is up there in my favorite steel roller coasters. It is an awesome roller coaster, without a doubt. You know what they say, don't judge by size, and Wicked Cyclone is a perfect example of a roller coaster such as this. This ride is basically the RMC Maverick at Cedar Point. This ride is so intense. This ride is mainly for its intensity as well as its airtime. It dominates in both those categories. Wicked Cyclone is by far the best RMC hybrid that I've ridden. It's intense, it's compact, which adds on to the intensity. It has some great airtime moments. You're flying all over the place. Mainly ejector airtime as for most RMCs. However, this ride has no exception. Awesome airtime, awesome intensity. Not a great height and speed. However, what it has dominates that, pushes that out of the way. If you intercline the inversions, if you have the intensity, if you have the airtime, you're fine. This Wicked Cyclone, if you ask me, is probably the best ride Six Flags New England, if not Superman the Ride, or when I rode it, Bizarro, although I've now ridden Superman the Ride, and not a major change. If you ask me, I like Bizarro better when it was Bizarro. But anyways, Wicked Cyclone, awesome roller coaster. I suggest you hit it up. If you miss this ride at Six Flags New England at a trip there, I feel sorry for you, because it is most likely, as I said again, this roller coaster is probably the best RMC hybrid they have to offer out there right now. And most roller coaster enthusiasts agree with me, because this ride is intense, it's awesome, and it's just a great ride. I have really no other words with this ride, because when I rode it, I had an awesome experience on it, and I felt like my head was going to be chopped off by the steel framing, because that's how intense this roller coaster is. It's another one of those roller coasters that provides the head chopper effect, and it adds on to the intensity and the airtime. You are flying all over the place, and I mean all over the place. If I had to give this ride a rating, it would be a 10. And I did review this roller coaster last summer, so go check that out, and I hope you would enjoy it. What is my number one RMC that I've ridden to this date? Now, this is subject to change within the next couple years, but right now I feel as if my number one RMC is Lightning Rod at Dollywood. This ride is probably one of the best, possibly even the best wooden roller coaster that I've ever ridden. If you ask me, this dominates Goliath. I'm yet to ride Wildfire at Colmar, and I don't even know what the hell happened with that ride. Is it even still open? Let me know in the comments below, because I know there was an issue with it last season, which caused it to, I don't know, get like revitalized or something. But I'm still yet to ride it, but I hear that's also an awesome one. But Lightning Rod, who can beat Lightning Rod when it comes to a wooden roller coaster? If you ask me, the only ride that's competing with this roller coaster is El Toro for me. That ride is also a phenomenal ride. However, Lightning Rod, it's the first ever launched RMC roller coaster. It's the first ever launched wooden roller coaster, which just adds on to it in general. And it has some great airtime. It has a great intensity rating, and it also, I love the way it lifts. The lift hill is the launch, and then it kind of like tricks you and goes down a little bit, then it goes up, gives you airtime, and plummets straight down, almost. And then you're just flying all over the terrain, and I love how this ride uses the terrain. It makes it a compact ride, but they still manage to make it spread across the terrain, but still make it a compact roller coaster. If you ask me, at the moment, this is the best RMC that I've ridden, possibly to many, the best RMC in general. Now, I don't know how it'll compete with RMC Mean Streak at Cedar Point next year, but it seems like Lightning Rod's gonna get some competition, because that ride looks massively insane. But I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'm hoping to hit up RMC Mean Streak, speaking of which. And Lightning Rod Dollywood, though, however, is the best RMC that I've ridden up to this date. Please let me know what you think of my number one pick of Lightning Rod Dollywood, and please let me know what you think of all the other RMCs that I've ridden. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with my list? And if you do, if you disagree with my list more or less, please make a list, because I would love to see your thoughts on your favorite RMCs of these RMCs. Or just in general, I love to see how Medusa fits in, or the Joker fits in, because I'm very curious, because I will be hanging those up eventually, you have to remember. And if you're an international fan, then how about you tell me about Wildfire, because I would love to know about that one as well. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this countdown. This is the first countdown that I've done in a while, and congratulations to Lightning Rod to be my number one RMC. And if you have not already subscribed to Coaster Mania, please do. And I will catch you all next time here on this channel.